It's the Scotty Myers Show.
Hey there, welcome to this week's episode of the show. Hopefully you're having a fantastic week so far. I'm your host, Scotty Myers, and I had a little surprise this week thanks to my wife. She's not a real big practical joker, but she actually got a good one on me. I opened my underwear drawer, and I was greeted with a little surprise. Yeah, that was the sound of a suction cup dildo that my wife left upright amongst my underwear. And I thought it was just like, you know, me envisioning myself in the underwear. It's kind of what I thought. But anyway, so I brought my wife on because A, I wanted to know why she has a suction cup dildo and what other surprises she had, because she won these, basically.
Yeah, I was at an event and won a surprise bag for a wild love night. It includes 5 sexy items for him and her.
Well, that better not be for him.
Yeah, the suction cup dildo. Lifelike in terms of...
It looks like an index finger.
It is kind of thin and creepy looking, but it's circumcised and very veiny. Would you consider that circumcised?
Yeah. That's a mushroom tip right there. That's yeah. So anyway, so you won that. That was in your surprise bag.
Let's venture in deeper. I'll get to that later. There is a lady vibrator.
Okay. It looks like a swan.
It's called the Swanee or the Ducky. I looked it up. Okay, just gonna put that over there. Doesn't
Rubber
work.
ducky, I love you.
We have anal beads.
Oh.
2 cock rings, handcuffs, and a partridge in a pear tree.
No, what is that?
This is
it looks like a medical device.
It's something you put in your bum. And it's a balloon, and you blow air in it, and it's supposed to train your bum for
giant things.
Things that
Fists?
Anyway, so the practical joke thing came about because I had my moment when I was younger that you, I guess, thought as a lady that you had to go to sex stores and buy vibrators and dildos and, you know, to awaken your lady-isms. But I just never was into it, and I kind of grew out of that phase because I never really got into the phase. I felt pressured. So now I've got this bag of sex toys, and I don't know what to do with them besides using them to play practical jokes on people.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not the type of thing you can donate. Like, we can't pull into the drive-thru at Value Village and hand the guy this bag, and then he kind of hands us that 5% off coupon.
Oh, that's very handy. Yeah, like, do I send this to the recycling depot? Do I throw it in the garbage? I mean, this is like stuff with batteries in it and plastics. Like, I don't want to put it in the landfill because I feel socially responsible, but at the same time, it's a bag of sex toys.
Because you're environmentally... You literally don't want to fuck Mother Earth.
We're already doing that enough.
I don't know what we do with these either, to be honest. I mean, I don't know, like...
Don't even.
Christmas gifts? I mean... You know, save some money.
I can't believe you're touching it.
Well, it's just like, I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, I don't know what you do with these things when they're used, let alone new.
I know, it's a lot of upkeep, but the bag is kind of rotating around the house because I don't know where to put everything. I don't know where to put it, and
we're doing a lot of renovations, so
yes,
yeah.
And my parents keep coming over, and I don't want them to find it, so right now it's under our bed.
Which is the worst place, because if anybody sees it there, then they definitely think we're using this stuff. Yeah, like...
In the heat of
hold
passion.
that position, honey.
Gotta get the suction
Let
cup.
me get the rubber ducky.
Let me get the anal balloon.
Let me get the expander.
But 2 days ago, it was in the basement, in a drawer. Today, it's under the bed. I mean, if people come over, I'm going to feel nervous and feel like I've got to move it around again. But where? I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. if someone came over and saw a bag of Wild Night sex toys.
Okay, well, here's the thing. First off, I agree with you. We got to get rid of it. Although, you do have a penchant for, like, cheese pizza with cheese in the crust, and that can bind you up. So the expander could come in handy.
You know what? You could use this to maybe put cheese in the pizza crust. Hey!
That could work, too. Or your other option, if you really don't want to give them as Christmas gifts, which I'm thinking would be hilarious and would save us money. If you really don't want to do that, you're into work usually before everybody else.
Yeah.
Just leave it on the lunch counter at work.
Next to Darlene's nacho dip and chips and Megan's cake and brownies.
Then they're going to think that they belong to them. They're going to be like extra spicy cake and brownies.
Different kind of dessert.
Yeah. So that's my solution. Leave it at work. Let somebody else deal with it. Or next time I put the recycling out, I can just suction cup the dildo to the top of it. And
it's a handle.
So, yeah, there you go. That's how you toss it in, buddy. Literally. Alrighty. Well, that is you brought these into the house, so you have to figure out a way to get them out of the house.
You can always keep the handcuffs. Halloween.
Yeah, I am not getting handcuffed down. That is not my scene. Anyway, so that's that. Thank you for sharing. I'm so glad that you won something.
You're under arrest. Let me put this dildo on your face.
Ah! Okay, get out of here. Dildo in the face means you gotta go.
Have fun with the sex bag. Leaving it here.
Yeah, it's not every day you get smacked in the face with a dildo. And unless you work in the porn industry, and then that's just Tuesday. Anyway, I used to do a segment on the radio show called Offs. Oh, for fuck's sakes. And I got a couple of emails over the last couple of weeks, people saying, why don't you bring it back in the podcast? Because now you can actually fully vent about the things that are making you say, oh, for fuck's sakes, and actually say the title of the segment. So I was like, that's a really good idea. Basically, the idea behind the segment is it's any news story that you see that when you read the headline or the story, your reaction is, oh, for fuck's sakes. So, our first off story is a new calendar that has been released. It is, it's in pre-order stages right now. It's called the I Adulted calendar. It comes out next month, and it basically allows you to give yourself stickers. There's going to be 100 stickers in the calendar that you give yourself for doing a good job. But really, it's just being an adult. You know, like, I took the stairs today. I remembered to take my meds. I paid a bill. I ate a salad. Adulting. We really have to stop this fucking adulting thing, okay? I know we have an entire generation of children that have been celebrated their entire lives for the most minuscule of tasks. You know what Tommy did today? Tommy put one foot in front of the other and walked all on his own. He's 10. Oh, I'm so proud. I got him a sundae. No, stop it. Stop it. And then it's even worse as an adult to sit there and feel like you have to celebrate every minuscule thing. You should not celebrate paying a bill. Paying a bill sucks. Okay? Bill paying rent, mortgage, phone, internet, all that stuff, it blows. It's not something to be celebrated. It's something to do so that you function in life and you know, move on with your life. But it's not a milestone. It's not something you need a sticker for. And if you do, please wrap yourself in bubble wrap and never leave the house. You are too fragile for the world. And I blame your parents if that's the case. But seriously, we have to stop this adulting, making it a thing. You know what's a thing? Being a productive member of society. An adulting calendar with stickers? Offs. I will say, though, at least they're not scratch and sniff, because that really would have pissed me off. On to the geek news of the week. I thought it was going to be a slow week with, you know, Avengers taking all the headlines, but we actually got quite a bit of geek news to delve into. But we will start with Avengers Endgame and its box office, around 1.2 billion with a B, it made in its opening weekend, which is absolutely insane. I did a video review right after I got out of the theater, and I've had a bit more time to digest the film now. I'm still not going to spoil it for anybody. It's only been a week. I really don't want to start throwing spoilers out there. But the more I think about it, the more I think Marvel may have painted themselves into a corner. The film has such a finality to it that I said in my initial review, I don't know where they go from here, because they really focused on kind of the original members of the Avengers and didn't spend much time of building up any of the new characters. And the more I think about that, the more I think, I don't know where they're going to go, and I don't know who's going to lead them. I don't think Spider-Man is ready, like as the character is right now. We'll see after Far From Home comes out. I would say logically Black Panther would be the guy to step up and lead the Avengers going forward, but I don't know if that's the plan for him. I know they have a Black Panther 2 in the works. There's a lot of other movies that need to come before we see a new team assemble under the banners of the Avengers, and also just to let us kind of decompress from this one a bit. If you want to check out my video review, it is up on the YouTube channel, Scotty Mars Show on YouTube. It's spoiler free, so you can go check that out if you haven't already. Sticking with Marvel, they made a surprise announcement. They are going to do a couple of shows for Hulu streaming service. I'm baffled by this because Disney's launching their own streaming service that they've already announced. A Loki show, a Hawkeye show, Scarlet Witch, Winter Soldier. Like, there's a lot of Marvel shows that are going to be on that Disney Plus streaming service when it launches in November. But they've announced 2 that will be on Hulu. Ghost Rider and Hellstrom are going to be on Hulu. And this has led to speculation that maybe we could get kind of the darker Marvel world showing up there, like maybe Moon Knight or Blade comes back, things like that. Those guys could all team up if they wanted to do, another super team like Spirits of Vengeance or something like that. It'd be very, very cool. The guy that played Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he will be back to play Ghost Rider. So that's going to tie it into the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, which they just dropped a trailer for season 6. I thought it was canceled, but it's coming back for season 6. So Marvel moving forward, and Disney moving forward with Marvel on multiple fronts. So they're going to be on the Disney streaming service, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC, then on Hulu, and then, of course, still being dominant at the box office. I'm sure Spider-Man Far From Home is going to make a ton of money. So that kind of wraps up what's going on in the Marvel world right now. Star Wars, we're, of course, waiting for Galaxy's Edge. That, of course, opening at the end of this month in California, and then at the end of August in Florida. And I still think I'm going to go. I'm very, very excited to get to Galaxy's Edge. But we do have another little theory here on what the Rise of Skywalker may mean as the subtitle for Episode 9. Now, this could be deemed a spoiler, so I'm going to give you a heads up. Spoiler warning. A guy in Poland, they just announced the title over there in Polish, and they don't have The Rise of Skywalker. It was given a different subtitle over there. Skywalker Resurrection. Interesting. Does that mean Luke gets resurrected? Or maybe, as I speculated last week on the podcast, Anakin comes back from the dead. But maybe that international translation gives us a hint on what we could see in Episode 9. Game of Thrones. Everybody was talking about that on social media. I just wanted to touch on it. The episode, the Battle of Winterfell. There were some very, very cool moments in that show, and I'm sure there were a bunch more of cool moments that I couldn't fucking see. I honestly don't understand how you can have a budget for a show like that and then not light it properly. You have a budget of $100 million an episode, buy some fucking lights. And I know the cinematographer, he has spoken out about this and said, I know it wasn't too dark because I shot it. That's his exact quote. Okay, first off, fuck you, buddy. Secondly, how do you know? I know you're the cinematographer and you're looking at the dailies, but still, man, like when the argument is adjust your television. No, I shouldn't have to adjust my TV for each individual show that I'm going to watch. That's just absolutely ridiculous. And, people have said, well, the only way to see it is to watch it on the biggest screen possible in the darkest room you can find. Well, you know what? We had the curtains closed. We had all the lights off. I got a pretty decent sized TV and I couldn't see jack shit. I couldn't tell who was retreating. I couldn't tell who was dying. Some of the stuff looked cool. Most of it just looked like a bunch of little ants running around on screen. Really, really ridiculous. It was disappointing to me because I wanted to really like the episode. I was looking forward to it. And then when I watched it at the end of it, I was kind of like, meh, I've seen better stuff. Now, I'm not saying I'm done with Game of Thrones. It'd be pointless. There's only like 3 episodes left. But I'm hoping they at least light the rest of the season properly, because I don't want to have to go dig a giant hole in my backyard and take my TV underground so that I can make it even darker just so I can see what's going on. Spend some money on lighting, please. And our last bit of news this week involves Indiana Jones 5. Now, it was announced a few years back now, a couple of years, that they were going to make a 5th Indiana Jones. All the major people would be returning, including Harrison Ford in the title role and Steven Spielberg directing. But that was kind of the last we heard. Well, now a new report comes out that says the film has suffered a setback and that they hired Dan Fogelman, the creator of the TV show This Is Us, to redo the script entirely. They're scrapping an idea that came from John Kasdan, the guy that wrote Solo, a Star Wars story. Aside from his success with the NBC drama This Is Us, Fogelman has been a writer on Disney and Pixar's first 2 Car movies. He's written a few other things, but according to the story, the plot of the script that they are now tossing out involved the Gold Train, which suggested a Nazi train loaded with priceless artifacts and heirlooms that went missing in a series of tunnels under Poland, and that Indiana Jones would have been on the hunt for that, which I totally could see and fits with the Indiana Jones story. So that would have been really, really cool. And this is a huge setback because Spielberg said that they were going to start filming last month, and obviously that's not happening. So hopefully this fella Fogelman works quickly and gets an Indiana Jones 5 script done fast, because also Harrison Ford isn't getting any younger. I'm also just worried that with him writing and his success with This Is Us, the next Indiana Jones movie is going to be Indiana Jones and the Crockpot of Doom. That will do it for this week. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean. Of course, you can check us out on blasttheradio.com on Thursday mornings. And if you are listening to us on any of the other ones like Spotify, iTunes, help us out. Give us a big old 5-star rating, review, leave some kind words. It helps promote the podcast a whole lot. And don't forget to follow us on all the social media channels. Facebook, The Scotty Mars Show, The Scotty Mars Show on Instagram, at Scotty Mars on Twitter, and Scotty Mars Show YouTube channel. There's going to be a few more things popping up there as well. So until we talk again, have a great week.